Hey YouTube! If you want to take your Gaussian Splats to the next level, this video is for you. The animation you're seeing right now is a combination of few techniques I've been experimenting with. It involves Gaussian Splatting, photogrammetry, and a Niagara Particle System, all together working on a real engine. So in this tutorial, we're going to cover the best way to import Gaussian Splattings into Unreal Engine, how to use the sequencer, how to create an animation, and the most importantly, the particle effect you're seeing right now, built entirely in Niagara particles. This tutorial is for free. If you want to follow along, you can download the files in the video description. The only ask I have as a favor, please do consider subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. Now let's turn the boring Gaussian Splats into something unique. For this tutorial, I'm using Unreal Engine 5.4, and to visualize Gaussian Splats directly in Unreal Engine, I'm using the plugin Xverse Engine. First, create a new project. I'll go with the Games project, pick blank, choose where to save it, give it a name to keep everything organized, and open up the project. Once Unreal Engine opens, the project has been created and it's time to install the Xverse engine. There's a quick access link to go to the plugin in the video description. I'm using Unreal Engine 5.4, so I'll pick just that. Download the assets directly into the Unreal Engine project you just created. Then create a folder called plugin and save the file in there. Navigate to that folder, unzip the pack, and delete the zip file. The folder should look just like this. Now go back to Unreal Engine, close it and reopen it. I know it's a little bit boring, but you have to do that. Once it's back open, you should see the X icon here. This plugin now allows us to import the PLY files, the Gaussian Splats, directly in Unreal Engine. So let's do that. Click on Import PLY and find the files I've shared with you. To make sure we start to the right foot, create a new level. Go to File, New Level, and choose Empty Level. From here, everything is straightforward. Drag and drop the file into the viewport and make sure you reset all the transformations by clicking this arrow. Great, now that you learn how to import Gaussian Splats in Unreal Engine, it's time for us to build the Niagara Particle System. The effect only works with static mesh. That's why I've included one in the downloaded files. Go to File, Import, navigate to where you download the files, and import the FBX file. When importing it, make sure you scale the mesh to 100. Now it's time to overlap the static mesh on top of the Gaussian Splat. But there we have a problem. The transformations are not matching. To fix that, the magic numbers to align the mesh are right here on the screen. If you pop all the numbers in the transformation, you should have perfect overlap between the two. Quick breakdown for today's sponsor, myself. I work hard to put all these videos together, and I do it simply because I love to share these informations with you. So for that, please don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I really want to hit to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and you are the only one who can help me. So if you enjoyed this video, just subscribe. To create this animation, we are going to use Niagara System. This part can be a little bit tricky, but don't worry. If you get stuck, I found this video online that explains the entire process in more detail. So shout out to the YouTube channel, the 8INC. Great inspiration. I'll leave his link in the description. Create a folder and call it Niagara. Right click inside, create a Niagara System, and choose Empty to start with. Now that Niagara System has been created, it's time to adjust a few settings. Click on the empty emitter and make sure this is set to GPU Compute Sim. Underneath that, make sure that the Calculate Bounds mode is set to Fix, and very important, underneath Fix Bounds, set the parameters to 1000. If you skip this step, your effect is gonna start glitching in the viewport, which is very annoying. Next, go to Emitter Update, click on the plus and type Rate. The final number I ended up with was 10 millions, but for now let's keep it 10,000. On the particle spawn, click plus and add the static mesh module. On the right side, open the static meshing slot, click make and choose the user parameter option at the bottom. Once you click that, on the left you'll see the preview mesh and the default mesh. Add your downloaded static mesh on both. You should now see the effect starting to take shape on the mesh on the left side. You can randomize the particle to look more organic. Click on Initialize Particle and set the sprint size mode to random uniform. From underneath, you can control the size of the particles, and for my final result, I used 3 and 3. On the particle update, type scalar sprint size into the search bar. From here, you can control the particles using presets already built in, so I'll pick this one for now. Now we're adding a core noise force. I ended up using 210 here. Underneath, switch to bake low and type 0.1 for all the settings. You can now see on the left, particles are spreading apart more and more, which is exactly what we want. Now add the drag effect. In this case, I use 25. Then go to the spawn rate and switch to 10 millions. Now it's time to add texture to the particles. To do that, we're gonna exit Niagara and we're gonna create a new material. Inside the material, drag the texture from the static mesh and then right click and type constant 3 vector. Then right click on it and convert it to a parameter. Give it a bright color. Next, right click and type desaturation, then right click and type 1. The RGB feeds into the desaturation node, and from there the fraction goes into the 1 node and then into this section here. Everything then goes into multiply with A and B going into the green channel, and add one more node, power. This goes into the base, the blue goes into the AXP, and now plug the output into base color and emissive color. Now search for radial gradient exponential, add the node text coordinate node, and make sure to bump the number to 2. Connect both of them and connect the results to the opacity mask. Click on the text coordinate node and in the search bar look for UV, change the number to 1. Add the dynamic parameters, connecting index 0 to U and index 1 to V. Search for make flow 2 connected like I have now on the screen. Now click on the material in the search bar, type used with Niagara sprites, check the box and make sure use with Niagara mesh particles is also checked. Press apply and save. In the content browser, right click the material and create an instance. Open the Niagara Particle System back up, go to the sprite render and add a color instance. The particles should now be turning into gray. To bring in all the mesh colors, go to particle spawn and add dynamic material parameters. On the right side next to U, click the arrow and type from vector to D. Do the same for V. From each vector to D, click the arrow, type sample UV. Do the same from the bottom one and make sure you change the channel from X to Y. Now if you look at the preview, you should be seeing the mesh particles including the textures. Now the hard part is done. You can bring the Niagara Particle System directly into the viewport and start aligning with our mesh. Just drag and drop it. It's going to be oriented wrong at first, but we'll use these settings on the screen to align it perfectly with the Gaussian splats. If you already aligned the mesh before, just copy the settings from there to the Niagara Particle System. Let's look at creating some camera animation. Click on this little clapperboard icon here. It should say add level sequence. This is basically going to create an animation timeline for us. Give it a name to keep things organized. Once the sequencer is open, click on the camera icon here. It should automatically add a scene camera actor into the scene and create a camera cuts. Now if you are in the wrong orientation or you just don't like what you see, you can navigate through the scene with the mouse. If it's rotated or completely lost, you can also use the transfer options from the camera. In my case, I wanted to start wide from one side of the street, travel through it and reveal more as I go. Then that's how I created the shot. I did a keyframe at frame 0, another at frame 240, and then another at frame 100 to keep the camera flying above the floor. For the first and the last frames, the animation is set to linear, and for the middle frame is set to cubic. The focal length is super wide. I want to see as much of the street as possible, so 8mm is gonna do a great job for me. Before we render, we need to drag the Niagara system into the sequencer. This makes sure the particles are included when we hit render. Click plus, add the Niagara component, then click plus again and add a system life cycle. This is what allows you to fade the particles in or out on top of the Gaussian splats. And that's what I really wanted to share with you today, a way to combine Gaussian splats with photogrammetry with Niagara Particle System directly in a real engine. It's a cool way to create super cool visuals. I also created on my YouTube channel different other videos explaining about Gaussian splats, so definitely go check them out. Until the next episode, stay safe and I'll catch you in a bit.